Next up, we have Connect by KORAII. My understanding is that this is featured in Geometry Dash, but we've done KORAII before, so there you go. Once again, everybody, this is a Basterd's LFA, a layman-friendly analysis. I'm a professionally trained musician, a composer, and my objective here is to explain things in a way so that you don't have to be one to understand what's happening here musically. So, if you like the sound of that, make sure you're following the channel, subscribe to the channel, whatever term you want to use. Like the video, share the video, leave a comment, become a member, turn on notifications, all that good stuff. Support this channel as much as you want. And, of course, 2 disclaimers. Number 1, this is my first time hearing this track ever. So I will be pausing a lot, as I will be explaining, pointing things out as I hear them or as I realize them. And number 2, this is recorded live on stream on a single take, so whatever happens, happens. With that being said, let's do this. Connect, KORAII. Let's go. Immediately made me think of Final Fantasy and Super Mario 64. Okay, so we start with a very lovely synth, very retro, like very 90s synth. Reminds me of reminded me of Final Fantasy. We just played Final Fantasy 7 on the stream, so the original one, right? So it's a very nostalgic sound, and it's doing very, very straightforward arpeggios. So we're doing upgoing arpeggios. Arpeggios is just playing chords one note at a time. Bansai, thank you for the super chat. I'll address that later. So yes, we have that going. Yes, Nico, it does. Phrasing. So yes, we have these arpeggios going up, giving us what could be our motif, because sometimes the cool thing about arpeggios is that it's chords that can also double as melodies, and of course the motif being the smallest version of your musical idea, the essence, the seed from which everything else comes from, right? So let's see where this goes. We have a second synth playing some more chords, bringing in some... Full nostalgia mode. This sounds like water in a springing cave, except now we've entered some sort of random encounter. Very, very fun transition. That was really, really cool. That was very smooth. And it's really, really cool. And the drums has this tone, very like every time the melody is going upwards, kind of in the same direction. So the drum kit is kind of reflecting the motif in a way that it's the upward going melody. Really, really cool. And yes, Nico, that's me twisting your words. That's what I just did. All right, let's see where it goes. Oh, this is just bringing all the memories. All right. So yeah, now we're getting our actual motif being this really cool syncopated melody in this thing. So syncopation, for those of you who don't know, right? So syncopation is the art of playing something between the beats or against the beat. So in this case, we are having, despite everything, the ba 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 going on from the main drums. There's just a lot of stuff in between. So whatever goes against that initial or that whatever goes against those is syncopated. And right now the melody is doing just that. And yeah, the sounds of this is just reminding me of like 90s games, early 2000s games, that kind of stuff, right? It's really, really cool, very nostalgia driven. Like, it shows that I'm 30, right? So let's see where this goes. It kind of reminds me of that theory, yeah. Oh, quick moment where the melody was allowed to do its thing. And now we tone down a little bit, we reduce the scale of our ensemble a little bit, and we allow for a bass line to take the front stage. So a bass line, very simple concept, right? Bass line is whatever the bass is doing. Usually a bass is going to be messing around with the bass note. Usually a bass note is just the lowest note in the entire thing, and that's what the bass is there for. It's kind of self-explanatory, right? But that doesn't always mean that the lowest note is going to be the lowest note of your chords. And that is where the bass line can come in and really, really mess around and really explore things. Because when it comes to bass lines, when it comes to a bass, the bass has a very special place among music. Because unlike in orchestral music where you have very, very few, like usually the bass is very few instruments, right? But usually you have to come up with, oh yeah, the motif or something like that. The bass line tends to be a little bit more free, to the point that you can have your bass line be a different motif altogether, and you can have simultaneous motifs going on with your bass line as long as the bass line is cooperating with the rest of the tune, providing that foundation. Then you get as much as you want. It's very, very cool. Very, very cool. There's a reason why a lot of bassists are so adamantly bass players, because of that really cool freedom that bass players get. If you want to see really how insanely good or insane bass lines can get, there's always Victor Wooten. There's Charles Berthoud. Who else is an insanely good bass player? Oh, of course, Peter de Reina. These three guys, Victor Wooten, of course, being one of the greatest bass players of our generation. Charles Berthoud, also from the Berklee College of Music. He's got a YouTube channel and everything. He does insane bass stuff. He takes a lot of inspiration from that. And Peter de Reina, because he's a friend of mine. He's from Seven Spires, and he is insane. Check out any of these three bass players, and you will see just how incredible bass can truly be. And in the case of electronic music, you're not going to have the physical bass. You are going to have a synth recreating that, which is still going to be that. When Purgatory? I don't know. So you can hear that very funky bass line. Ooh. Oh, it's really cool. So yeah, now we're having the motif. Now we're having the motif done along with the bass line. And you can see how these two are doing what is called counterpoint. Counterpoint. We're doing counterpoint. So yeah, either when the request gets done or if the bribe list. There's always the bribe list. So yes, we have the this counterpoint going on between the bass line and the melody, the motif, and it's just giving us this really, really cool dynamic of sometime like kind of call and response, kind of cooperating, having moments of similar motion, parallel motion, contrary motion. It's just going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and it's just so good. It's so good to see this kind of counterpoint. Yeah, do not request songs yet. So yeah, let's see. That's okay. That's okay, no worries. I'll just delete it. Okay. So now we remove a good chunk of the drums. So we're not quite off the ramp because we've been kind of just mellowing things down, like the whole thing. We've been kind of diminishing the ensemble. Now we're having part of the ensemble of the drums, and we are allowing for the melody and the bass to take even more of the stage. So far, this has been a really, really cool study, a really cool display of just having two motifs, or a motif and a bass line, and exploring that. and just completely going for it. Let's see where this goes. Yep, same bass line, same melody. Okay, and we pause them, we bring in this chord. Now we've gone off the ramp. So going off the ramp is a colloquial term that I use. So colloquial is just that there's no official academic or like proper term for this. It's just how I explain things, right? So in this case, going off the ramp is making your listener, it's a transitionary style or a transitionary method to make your listener feel suspended up in the air, kind of going off a ramp at the mercy of inertia, waiting to see where we land. How do you do that? You remove the drums, or in this case, the bass. But also we removed the melody. We just removed everything and we replaced it with a static chord, which is slowly increasing in volume. This is really good, man. This is really good. Let's see where it goes. You can just do that, yeah. So, Cyro, it's a very good point you bring in. When it comes to music, the teachers will tell you that there are rules because they need to get paid for you to understand this. However, there are no rules. What there are common practices. There are things that are known to work, and there are things that are known not to work. But sometimes the things that are known not to work can work if you make them not work in the right way. Music is a very confusing, and contradictory field. It's very, very bizarre in that sense. For example, there is a piece that many people absolutely love, that in theory, it's one of the worst compositions ever made in the history of mankind, and we know it as the Canon in D. It is a beautiful, beautiful piece. It's absolutely beautiful. But if you were to turn that in as your composition homework, you get kicked out of the class. It's so bad. So producing, I always struggle progressing sections, so I don't have to. So yes, for this, so right now, what we are doing is we are going from section A to section B. So thank you for bringing that up. So when it comes to music, you have something called form, which is just the structure of your music. When it comes to this, you usually, for instrumental music, you will divide things into sections. So in this case, we had section A for the first minute and a half or so. We had the bass line, we had the motif, the melody, all that stuff going on. Then we bring in section B. That was way too good a square that I just made there. That connected way too well. So yeah, now we have section B. So when you're making music, you want to keep a very, very delicate balance between what is familiar and what is new. Too much of one or the other, and your listener will tune out. Too much familiarity, too much repetition, and you risk the listener getting bored, tuning out. Too much new material too quickly, you risk overwhelming the listener, they're going to tune out. So when it comes to sections, you're going to have section A, which is all the stuff we heard. We got drip fed all of this, like each iteration gave us a different thing. And now when it comes to the B section, a B section is going to be some sort of contrast. In essence, is going to contrast, but it can't be something completely unrelated and new. There has to still be some sort of common thread or threads. So right now, we are about to find out what that is, because we have the chords going on, which is almost the same chords that we had the entire time. The difference is that the first time they were more in the background, very, very far away. Now we gave them the spotlight. So let's see where this goes. And the nerd, we're not taking live requests right now. We have this one, then another one, and then we're taking requests. So just stay tuned. So let's see where this goes. Okay, so as you can hear, we now have a very, very different melody going on with a very different instrument. However, this melody is a variation of the motif that we had before. We're taking small elements of that motif. It's no longer syncopated, And parts of it seems to be a little bit more sped up. Parts of it seem to be just displaced a little bit. But overall, it's still the same musical idea. We've just taken the overall shape. Let's say that the first shape of our original motif was this kind of thing, right? So now what we did is that we still have that going on up and down, up and down. Then we are doing something like that again. So the overall essential part of the idea, they are still there. The shapes are still there. We are just molding around them. We're just changing, we're re-exploring the idea. Because that's one of the cool things, and that's one of the more difficult parts about composition, figuring out how to explore your material and figuring out what to do with your motif. Because there are many ways that you can develop a motif, but picking out which one, when to apply it, and that kind of stuff, that's when it starts getting very difficult, and that's when you get the blank canvas effect. Blank canvas effect, or I think it's syndrome, I don't remember which one. It's basically when you have a blank canvas and you have so many options that you get overwhelmed and you end up doing nothing. That is blank canvas. So when it comes to this kind of stuff, usually, at least in my case, for example, right, it's going to be something like, I am a very melody-oriented composer. I am going to mess around until I find a melody that I like. And I'm going to find a melody that I like, and as soon as I find a melody that I like, I can build everything else around it. Because now I have, of course, I have the skill set. I can orchestrate. I wrote an opera. I've written symphonic movements, that kind of stuff. So I have the craftsmanship to learn how to make the accompaniment. But for me, in my case, it's figuring out the first melody. How do I get these notes? What notes do I need to get? What does the music want to demand from me? And once I get that initial motif, then I can really start going. Because then I can be like, okay, but what if I then take the motif and invert it? So when you get an inversion, you take the motif, you flip it upside down. Okay, how is that going to sound? Okay, so we have this going on, and I can like try to figure out how to make it go with other stuff. Okay, so what, instead of doing the inversion, I'm going to do a retrograde. So if I do a retrograde, I take the motif and I flip it backwards, and I try to play these things. And what if I do a reduction? If you do a reduction, you're gonna compress it so that it's faster, so that you can have the same motif playing over and over and over again, and you can still get you can just explore the results. And the key to this kind of thing for my composer friends, focus on one. Pick one. Like, it's a matter of, oh, there's so many options. Okay, let's pick one. Just one. Just do it. Just pick one of the options. Go for it. And if it doesn't work, you take that material, you set it to the side. You don't discard the material. Do not ever discard material. You take the material, you set it to the side, and you figure something else out. And then you might be able to work that other thing back together. And then you get a longer set of material. But always just experiment. Just bring in a what if and experiment with it, with these kinds of things. And that's how you end up with this kind of thing. At least that's how it works for me, right? Whenever I can't get the inspiration for something like that, I can sit down and actually work something out. So yeah, there you go. Anyway, that's a bit of a rant for this kind of section. But yeah, we're now in section B. Let's see where this goes. And we bring in the drums. It was very suspended up in the air. We bring a hi-hat. Do not request songs yet, by the way. Do not request songs yet. We bring in the hi-hat, and that just changes the connotations of everything. Everything gets the connotations changed. It is insane. Once again, the right rhythm will change everything. The right rhythm will absolutely change everything. And that's what we're seeing here. The right rhythm section, again, I will bring this one up every single time. If you want to see how much a rhythm section can truly alter a piece, just listen to the intro to The Mirror by Dream Theater. The first minute, the guitar is doing the exact same thing over and over again for a minute straight. And the drums, bass, and the synth are the ones changing the rhythm and the vibe and the groove and everything. And it's just... it's insane. Remind me to show it to you because I keep forgetting. So yeah, let's see where this goes. Still no bass line. Sri, welcome today. How you doing? You're not late. Let's see. Oh! So now we bring a variation of those initial drums that we had at the start, and now we push it as a dropping off the beat. We had these drums before. We had this melody in the drums before. We had it for a short while before the melody came in, and now we are pushing the drums once again. So, and I'm glad, Zero, I really appreciate it. I'm glad to be of service. So yes, now we bring in everything. Yeah, we go grown tubes like we're just... And yeah, now we had a couple of... bass line from the first section. Call and response. Call and response. We're doing a call and response with sections, with portions, with entire phrases. So call and response is usually one thing does one thing, the other one responds immediately. It's a conversation between two. And usually it's something reserved for individual instruments. Welcome back, Value User. Usually it's something reserved between instruments, like, I don't know, you're going to have your piece of music and everybody's playing a rhythm and the flute starts a phrase and the oboe continues that phrase. When the flute stops, the oboe starts, that kind of thing. But what KORAII is doing over here is we are grabbing an entire phrase, an entire section. We have two parts playing right now. Number one, we are having section A. We're having section A, the bass line, the melody, the drums, everything. Then we have section B, the build-up, the chords going up, that kind of stuff. And what are we doing? We are playing a couple of measures of one as a call, couple of measures as the other as a response. And we're just interchanging those. And that discrepancy right there is working very, very well. Let's see where this goes. Do not request songs yet. Do not request songs yet. It sounds so cool, dude. And then we come back to the start. A recapitulation. We bring back the... Ooh, man, this is really good. Oh, hell yeah. And we're having this really cool thing, very unique to electronic music, that you can chop it like this and give it like this like interrupting itself, resampling. I don't even know what these things are called, right? But you're having these points where it's like, just really, really cool. No, this is KORAII. This is KORAII. Connect by KORAII. This is really good, man. Let's see where this goes, because this is the climax of the track. This is a very well-made climax, because when it comes to the climax of a track or a piece or a song, you want to revisit as much material as you have before to kind of like, do a showcase of everything. And what has KORAII done? Bringing back and forth the different things. This is insane, dude. Let's see where this goes. Okay, so we're back to drums with the bass. The bass is kind of like duplicated, doubled by a synth. Let's see, how are you gonna end this? Remove the bass, having only those drums. Slowing down, breaking down. Oh no! Someone spilled coffee on his computer. Okay, that is one way of ending the track. That was good, man. That was awesome. That was awesome. There you go. Yup, there you go. That was, yeah. how do you break down everything to end the track? You break everything. You literally break it. That's really cool. That must have taken some time to figure out how to get that right sound of oh, the computer's failing. That was really cool. There you have it. That was Connect by KORAII. That was really fun, dude. That was really fun. Once again, everybody, this has been a Basterd's LFA, a layman-friendly analysis. I'm a professionally trained musician, a composer, and my objective here has been to explain things in a way so that you don't have to be one to understand what's happened here musically. So if you're watching this on the YouTube video archive thing, thank you for watching. Make sure you're following the channel, subscribe to the channel, whatever term you want to use. Like the video, share the video, leave a comment, become a member, turn on notifications, all that good stuff. Support the channel as much as you want. If you want to listen to this without me interrupting every 3 seconds, I will be linking it down below in the description. If you want to request a song and you're not on the live stream, if you're on the live stream, do not request yet. And if you're not on the live stream, go to the Discord server, link down below. Go to the LFA requests channel, follow the instructions on the pinned messages there. If you don't follow the instructions, well, you don't get your song. And if you want to catch these streams when they happen live on air, we aim for Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Central European Time. If you want to know what time that is for you, check the Discord or the Twitch. Both are linked down below. They both have the stream schedule showing in your local time zone so that you don't have to bother with calculations. And follow the gaming channel. We have a gaming channel. Games are Basterd. Link down below. That's where we put the VODs of our after shows of the games as I've been doing these kinds of things. So, oh my god. I'll address that in a second. So there you go. Connect by KORAII. Really, really good stuff. I have to go thank people. So there you go. Connect by KORAII. Really, really awesome. Really awesome stuff. But yeah, let's move.